Yes, I am Juan Pablo. Apparently I look like a child predator with this mustache, but it is what it is. Yeah, for those that don't know, the reason why I'm wearing glasses is because I'm trying to see if, beard and mustache can grow in. Funny enough, beard is coming in, slowly, but the mustache is like, nah, we're going in full throttle right now, so yeah, I look like a mess, but you know what? I'm gonna keep the glasses on and hope to God I look decent-ish with glasses, so on to the video. So, back in the day, I used to be friends with these good friends of mine back in the day. We're not friends anymore, but I used to really be really good friends with them. There used to be this guy named Marcus, who you guys knew as Mr. Fizzy. There used to be his bigger brother Marcelo, who he was on the football team, so get the picture of how big that is. And we had his, cousin Panzon, right? Now, what ended up happening was that they ended up living right across the street from me, right? So obviously, if I wanted to walk outside, walk maybe about 40 feet straight ahead, I'd hit their front door. So I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. Eventually one day, they got a trampoline, and they had been wanting this for like a couple of years, right? They had been wanting this thing for a hot minute, right? And they finally got it. And so we were like, oh shit, this is lit, right? So we were all like really hyped about it because I'm like, damn, I can come over, jump on the trampoline. You guys have the trampoline. Hell, you guys are happy. I'm happy to be off. It's all working out for us. You feel me? And so what ended up happening is that we ended up having one day, or a bunch of days actually, where we ended up having, me, Marcus, his cousin Panzon, his cousin Christopher, and his older brother Marcelo, right? We all would go into the trampoline because the trampoline was pretty big, right? And so, to give you a bit of perspective of, the size difference between all of us, right? Christopher was probably, in terms of height, up to, my chin, right? And he was super scrawny, right? And then Marcus was about, my size. Panzon was about my size, but with more muscle. Obviously, because I don't know where the fuck my muscle is. And Marcelo was football team, so just put that into perspective. And so we would all, go into the trampoline, we'd all have some grandiose time, we'd have a lot of fun and whatever, right? Well, there were also some times where we would have fights on the trampoline, right? Because that obviously is what you would have to do if you had a trampoline, right? And so what ended up happening was that we would do fights where usually it would be teams, right? So sometimes it would be like, oh, Marcelo and Christopher, because Christopher's being the smallest and Marcelo's being the biggest, we would have them two team up against the three of us, right? And the persons that either get knocked out or thrown off the trampoline, those are the ones that obviously lose, right? Bro, within the first game, Marcelo wasn't pulling any punches. I don't fuck with that man unless, Marcus and Panzon got my back, right? Marcelo just came up to me and, straight up Sparta kicked me. He Sparta kicked me square in the chest, BAM! I swear to God, man, my entire life flashed before my eyes. I was in the center of the trampoline 1 second, next second, I was flying, seeing skies of blue, and about to, make out with the fucking grass. It was over. And so, after I caught my bearings, having to recoup for, about 15-ish minutes, maybe 20. I had to recoup, man. I was fucked up. I was really gone. And so after I recouped, I was like, okay, I'm ready. Let's do a rematch, let's go. Because they were still fighting or whatever. Needless to say, my team lost. Because they were able to get Chris off. They weren't able to get Marcelo off. And so we all got back on, right? And we're like, all right, I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna pin him down. So, Panzon and Marcus go for him and whatnot. They go for Marcelo, right? And they grab his arms, and what ends up happening is I ended up going on the ground, right, behind his legs. And so they push him over my back, right, and we trip him down, and they start pinning him. Well, Christopher comes up out of nowhere, right, and he just straight up, bam, decks me in the face, right, and I'm just looking at him like, you son of a bitch. And so, I tackled him, and I grabbed him by the feet, right, and I just started pulling him, and I just threw him into the grass. I was like, stay there, motherfucker. Well, then, I shouldn't have gotten so cocky, because what ended up happening was, while I was dealing with that, and I was being cocky and be like, don't come up here again, bitch. I was being all cocky and shit while I was doing that. What Marcelo was doing was he was taking care of those two, which is what I probably should have been helping them with instead of dealing with Christopher. Well, what he did was he grabbed Panzon, threw him at Marcus, right? He threw him at him, and then while Marcus was recouping or whatever, he grabs him and throws him at my back, right? Marcus still stays on the trampoline. I don't! I had deja vu all over again because I flew back into the grass and started making out with the grass, basically. And And so that's just one occasion. Then there was another occasion where it was, you know, a 3v1, right? It was me, Marcus, Chris, and, you know, Marcelo. And that was the more popular fight that we would have, right? It didn't mean we would win. Like, for instance, this dude was so fucking, like, strong. Like, we couldn't fuck with this man. Probably the, like, most capable person in terms of taking him on when it was the three of us, me, Marcus, and, you know, his cousin Christopher, was probably Marcus. I could barely do shit against this guy. There were a few times where I was able to, like, actually trip him and pin him. Yeah, that happened. It was maybe about 1 or 2 times that I actually was able to trip him or push him enough to get off of the trampoline. Yes. But most of the time, no. Marcus was the one that did most of the work. And so what ended up happening was that while, you know, we were all fighting on the trampoline, right? Fucking Marcelo's just wrecking shop on us. Like, he's pushing Marcus to the side like this, whoosh, and then he grabs Christopher and fucking bam! Like, dude, this was like a straight up video game villain. Like, I swear to God, we were getting fucked. Like, he just threw him at me. And I remember this so vividly because Christopher, what ends up happening this one time, right, is that Marcelo's like not playing any shit. Like, he just Sparta kicks Marcus, kicks him back, and then like fucking Chris decides to do this ninja kick, right? He jumps on the trampoline and he does this ninja kick. Like, does that, like, whole shit, right? And Marcelo dodges him, right? Like, that motherfucker straight ninja right there, even though, like, he's football team muscular. He fucking dodges that shit, grabs him by the waist, right? Like, he grabs him by the waist some weird way with his arms or whatever, and he, like, spins him around and throws him right at me. And, like, I'm not even joking. His fucking body hits me square in the face, and all you just see is, like, this fucking, like, maybe 12-year-old body when I was, like, about, no, yeah, he was about 12, when I was about 15, right? So a 15-year-old kid, me, versus a 12-year-old body, needless to say, BAM! I was fucked. And so, like, I didn't fall off the fucking trampoline this time. Chris did. So Chris was gone, I was recouping, I was like, ugh, like, I was fucked, because I ended up getting hit in the face by a fucking teenager, and I was like, damn, like, this fucked me up, right? And then so Marcus is pushing him back, he's like, like, he's pushing him back and whatever, he's doing his best, but of course, Marcelo being bigger than him and stronger is like pushing him back even better and whatever, and so I'm like, what I decided to do is, okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go up to him, and I'm gonna grab him by the legs, yeah, he's not gonna be able to stop me, so I grab him by the legs, and I'm holding on to dear life. Like, I wrap my legs around his leg, my arms around his leg, and I'm like, Rah! And this dude is looking at me like, really? Really? And so what he ends up doing, which is super fucking badass, I gave a cap, he fucking decks fucking Marcus in the chest, right? He decks him in the chest, and Marcus falls back, right? And then when Marcus gets back up, this dude, swear to God, fucking, like, just goes kick. He kicks me so fucking hard with his leg. Well, he didn't kick me, but you get my point. Like, he just went forward like it was a kick. And he just fucking got rid of me off of his leg after, like, 2 kicks, right? And so I'm just flying, and I hit Marcus, right? And so what he ends up doing is, after he does that, no joke, grabs my leg with one arm, grabs Marcus's leg with the other arm, literally drags us both to the edge of the trampoline, throws me off, and then throws Marcus off. Yeah! Needless to say, we lost. Now, there were a few times where we actually did win, and those were few and far between, but you know what? We will take those wins with pride. So what ended up happening was that we started, you know, it was me and Marcus and Christopher, again. And so we all were on the trampoline, we're all fighting it out and whatnot, and so we decided, okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have Chris grab his leg, right? And so what Chris did is he ran and he did the same maneuver I did, right? He grabbed his leg with his fucking arms and, you know, legs, and he's just holding on for dear life. No joke. That fucking 12-year-old had a better grip than I did. Makes you believe what he was doing. I wonder if he hit puberty, you know what I'm saying? But the point is, like, this man had monkey grip. He was not letting go. So every time, Marcelo tried kicking him, he couldn't. And he would keep tripping over I keep saying Marcus. He kept tripping over Chris, right? And so he couldn't get rid of him. And he, like, at one point, he tried pulling him off with his hands or whatever. But then that's when I came in and I started pushing his arm or whatever. Like, my paperweight looking ass is gonna hold the fucking football player back. So we ended up pushing and pushing and pushing. And so what he does is he fucking bam, pushes me back, bam, pushes Marcus back. Then he tries to focus on Chris. Well, Marcus runs in and goes for his stomach and pushes him back. Like, he straight up tackles him to the fucking trampoline, right? And he, like, pins him, right? And so we're, like, trying to, like, see if we can move him or whatever. And we all try pulling his body, right? Needless to say, my strength, quote unquote, ain't enough to pull that guy. Like, it's just not, I'm not strong. And so, like, I'm trying to pull him, Marcus is trying to pull him, ain't nothing happening. This dude's just chilling there like if we're stretching out his arms or whatever, right? So it's not working. Eventually he gets tired of it, and he ends up pushing me down, he pushes Marcus down, and then he gets back up, right? Chris is still holding on for dear life, right? Commendable to Chris. Chris got that crazy-ass grip that I could never compete with. And so, basically, when Chris is still holding on, Marcus grabs him, and he's pushing him back. He's like, like pushing him back. I come in, we're pushing him back or whatever, right? He ends up tripping, because he ends up stepping on Chris's foot, right? He ends up stepping on Chris's foot, and trips back, and we actually got him off the trampoline. Needless to say, we were so hyped. However, the next game, he wasn't holding back, and needless to say, we got our asses handed to us. So what ended up happening in the next game, that game was so fucking quick, so what ended up happening was that we were thinking like, oh, we the shit, you know, we took him down, we the shit, you know? That high lasted for a very short time, let me tell you. So what ended up happening was that we were thinking like, we the shit, we are just the best, you know? And we weren't. We really weren't. Because what ended up happening was, as soon as we were, you know, going in, me and Marcus go in and we're like trying to hold him back, right? We're thinking like, okay, we're gonna cover so that Chris can, you know, come in and stop him. Well, Chris runs in and Marcelo's ready, right? Marcelo just straight up kicks him. He ends up hitting him in the chin because, you know, Chris was going down for his leg, right? He ends up hitting him in the chin. So Chris is just down. Chris is just down. And so we're like, oh, fuck. And so, like, what he ends up doing is he ends up doing this weird maneuver, right? Where he ends up having his right leg, right? And he ends up going like a circle around my leg and trips me and then pushes me down and goes like this with his shoulder, or not his shoulder, why am I saying wrong things? His arm. He goes like this and pushes Marcus back. He ends up getting Marcus off of the trampoline by doing that, right? So the only ones left on the trampoline are me and Chris, right? And so me and Chris are like, okay, we got this. No, the fuck we don't. This dude, like, he would like push me, right? He would push me. I go from one side of the trampoline to the other. That's just how it was. I was paperweight. And so we kept going, and so what he would keep doing was he kept throwing me and Chris at each other. Like, I would do that whole kick shit that Chris did. I got him once. I got Marcelo once with that kick. Needless to say, dude, this dude, when I did that next kick, this dude fucking dodged it, right? Grabs me, throws me at fucking Chris, like if I'm a fucking football, and like, straight up, Chris just goes down. I'm tired. I landed on Chris. He's tired. He's tired. And he ends up, basically, after that, he ends up grabbing me, and like, I'm like, no, and I'm trying to break his grip or whatever, but this dude's grip is like, fucking crazy. Like, Marcelo's grip was nuts. And he ends up grabbing me and he starts dragging me. I'm like, no, I'm trying to break free or whatever. And he throws me off of the trampoline. I lost. So the only one left was Chris. I'm trying to think of how that went down. Yeah, he didn't win. But either way, so basically what ended up happening was that Chris, you know, was like, oh, I'm gonna fight you or whatever, right? I'm not joking. What Marcelo did was he put his arms around Chris like a bear hug. He squeezed him, and Chris is like hitting and trying to kick or whatever, and like Marcelo's just grabbing him and walks him to the side of the fucking trampoline, right? He walks him to the point of where it's the edge, right? And he basically just drops him on the outside of the trampoline, and that's the end of Chris. We're just done. He didn't throw him or anything. He just carried him to the outside and just dropped him there. Needless to say, we were never a match for him. We always fucking lost. Minus a few times, we always fucking lost. But anyway, so that guys bring this one video to close. Don't forget to like this if you did. Don't share this one video with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to Uncle Source for more vlog type shit like this. And yeah, so that guys bring this one video to close. I'm Killer Zone, and I am out for now. Peace.